like a bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here, I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together, it's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Gang, happy Thursday. How are you? I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving, a wonderful Thanksgiving. If I saw you on Black Friday, thanks for joining me for our Black Friday show. If not, I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. So it's been a while. It's been a while since we had our regular Thursday chat. So, that being said, we are back to the split decision photobomb inserts as of today. So what we are going to work on today and next week is that. But I thought we would recap, since it has been a while, what we've done so far, where we are, and then we'll jump into what's next in the book. So the first thing we decorated was mini page style A. This is the first page of the book. All right, so, and it opens like this, but it attaches like this with a magnet. So we turned the film strip into a journaling spot. This is from the collection. We turned the inside of a Polaroid we made into a journaling spot as well. And then here's the Polaroid we made. They're all journaling spots on the back. Of course, you could do them double-sided for photos on both sides. And then on the other side, we have those 3 elements. And then in this pocket, we have a smaller element from the collection, and then just a cute little journaling card from the collection. All the embellishments are from the collection. Again, on the inside, we have 5x7s, and this is lifted. I left the tape backing on this edge so that we can slide this over the fin when we get ready to do the binding on this book. So that's mini page style A. That's page 1 in the book. Page 2 in the book is maxi page style A, or just page style A. The camera is an excuse to be someplace you otherwise don't belong. It gives me both a point of connection and a point of separation. Now, as we discussed when we were decorating, that there is a way to read all of these quotes about cameras as really sinister. And I think it's because there is a voyeuristic nature to photography just in general. Both, you know, standard film photography with a camera or standard film or like movie cameras. So, because you have distance from the person you're taking pictures of. So it's kind of interesting how I think it's something about the camera that gives all the quotes about cameras this kind of like a way to read them as sinister. So there's your food for thought for today. All right, underneath we have a photo mat for a 4x6 photo. These tags hold 4x6 photos as well, and there's 2 of them. We experimented with putting string on them, and we didn't like it, so we left the string off. Down here we have another spot for a photo if you want, or you would just leave this looking cool, you know, because there's plenty of room for photos. There's photo underneath. Flip it up, and we've got an enlargement, an Instagram, and a journaling spot. And then tucked in side here, we've got a photo down here. We've got this card from the collection that's connecting these 2 mats, or these 2 pockets. It's hidden, and it's holding some horizontal photo mats in the pocket. So we've got one of the folders from the collection. Photography is a love affair with life. And then we've got an enlargement and a 4x6, just to show you that you can get a lot in the photo, and it doesn't all have to be in the pocket, and it doesn't all have to be the same size. Then in this pocket, which is not divided, it goes all the way across, we have a 4x6 portrait photo mat and a 4x6 landscape photo mat. Also sort of styled as file folders or file dividers. Very cute there. And then this top pocket, which is divided, again, we've gone with the long tags, this time to hold 2 4x4 photos for your square photos. However, you could do 1 4x6 and then put a journaling spot or pattern paper at the bottom as well. So you can do it either way, and they're both the same. So that's page style A. And then on the back of page style A is pocket E, I believe that's what this is. And it has a bunch of inserts. All right, so we've got the insert that holds the portrait photos. So life is just like a camera. Just focus on what is important and capture the good times. Develop from the negatives, and if things don't work out, just take another shot. So this is not sinister. This is one of the quotes about cameras that is not sinister. And then on the back, you could add another photo. I just left it plain. You can add a photo on the front as well. It depends on how many photos you need. Then we have the folder that holds, this holds portrait, this holds landscape 4x6. The best thing about a picture is that it never changes even when the people in it do. And then we have memories captured, our story. 4 4x6 photos on the inside. Again, I left the back plain, but you don't have to. This is the quad Polaroid. We've done it out of the blue cardstock from the base. We unfortunately were not able to make quad Polaroids out of the punch board. But I did figure out a way to make the quad Polaroids with the Crocodile. So we still are going to include the quad Polaroids. And of course, if you have a cutting machine, quad Polaroid is in the folder. Cut files for the quad Polaroids are in the folder with your purchase. So if you have access to, if you bought this Album Basics Guide, you have SVGs for a quad Polaroid and a double Polaroid. Room for photos and journaling on the back, 4x6 again. And then this is the biggest insert, enlargement on the front. I believe it's 5x7. It might be 6x8. I don't know. No, it's 5x7. Okay. Inside 4x6 and room to journal. And then again, just showcasing the beautiful paper on the back. So lots of inserts for the pockets, and all of the inserts for the pockets will be the same. So not matted the same, but the same base construction. We have our oversized button and string closure here. And that's as far as we got. So that's where we are. So next we'll be doing mini page style B. Mini page style B. All right. So mini page style B is divided into two pieces because it's the front and the back. This one doesn't fold out like page style A does and page style C, as in Charlie, does. So this one's just a little bit different. Now, before I jump in here, I do want to just let you know, if you were here on Friday but you didn't know, on Tuesday I decorated the stadium box on the outside, and I showed you how to make the folders. What these folders hold are those 8 7/8 inch by 6.5 inch double 4x6 mats that hold two 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 photo mats with an 1/8 of an inch all the way around, or what the medium insert is in this book, what that I just showed you, the one that holds the 4 portraits, and that's all it holds. So that's what this holds, this folder. So, and it can hold several of them because it's a 1/4 inch thick. And then this is the closure, and the closure is no magnets. So if you wanted to see some closures that weren't magnets, there you go. So this is all on the YouTube channel now. All right. So for inserts here, we don't have a ton of room in this one. We just have this pocket, and then we have this flap. And we can decorate here, put journaling spots, whatever. We can do a little bit of decorating here, and then make an insert for this. But we don't have a lot of room to work with. And then here, this is just a 6x8 pocket. Wow, have you ever seen someone struggle so hard to pick up a piece of string? So we just have a simple pocket here. So we need to design something to go in this pocket. And I'm thinking whatever I design to go in this pocket should be in, there's 2 of these, so we should just make double so that we're ready to go for the next one. All right, how is everybody? Wow, okay, that was a lot of information. Bam, right at the front. We just jumped right in. So hi, good afternoon. Hello, Bev and Barbara Jean. Greetings, Priya and Jenny. Hi, May. How are you? Melanie, hello. Donna Jet popped in. She'll be back tonight. Greetings to Carol Joan and Sally Ann Snickerbacher. That's totally her real name, everyone. Candy is here. She also has finished her box from Black Friday. She posted it in the Facebook group. Flo, hi, how are you? Sandra's here, back from vacation, ready to drink whatever disgusting concoction I create for Scrappy Bowl this year. Aloha to Vesta. Hello. Welcome. Never worry about running late, everyone. You know, it's not like when you come in, if I was giving a lecture in college, you know, and you've got the door squeaks and everyone turns and stares at you and you got to slink in. You know, there's no audio cues that you were late, so you don't have to confess. All right, Bubs, hello. Hello, Pat. Sandra's ready. She's got her glass of wine already. All right, so let's start with the envelope. And we've got to think of what we can do that could be fun in the confines of 6 by 8. So realistically, 6 by 8, we would want to be at 5.5 by 7.5 is really where we'd want to land for our insert. So you will miss roll call. That's true. So if you want to shout out, you do need to be on time. That's true. That's true. All right. So this is split decision. I don't know. I forgot how to spell for a second there. 6 by 8. Okay. So we're going to work within 5.5 by 7.5. So what I'm thinking is if I do 4.25 by 6.25 photo mat, then we can have an L frame on the side. We just would have to be careful with our math because let's see, we have 1/8 of an inch for the edge plus 4.25 for the photo mat plus 1/8 of an inch for the spacer in between plus whatever this measurement is plus 1/8 of an inch for the edge, for the opposite edge. So what we need to do is add up this plus this plus this plus this and subtract that number from 5.5. And that's how we will know what size to make our L. What size we will make our L. Where's my calculator? Okay. All right, so we're starting with 5.5. This is fraction plus. If you ever wonder what this fraction calculator I'm using is, I use fraction plus now because it's available for free on Android and iTunes. The one I used to use stopped being available on iTunes. All right, so we're going to subtract 1. Oh, not 1, not actual 1. All right, whatever. I'm going to add 1 back because I forgot how to, okay. I forgot how to backspace. See, these ones have backspaces, but this one doesn't. So, all right, let's try that again. So 1/8. So minus 4.25 minus 1/8. Actually, it's 1/8 and 1/8, so we'll just minus 2/8. All right, so 7/8. So our little piece of paper, oh no, Lori. So our little piece of paper will be 7/8. So it'll be 7/8 inches wide. That's very skinny. 7/8 by, and then long is easy because we know it's 7.5, so it'll be 7.25. But then it's gonna have to join. We'll put a little frame. We'll miter the corners so that they join up right there like a frame. That way we don't have to cut a 7.25 by 5.25 inch piece. Okay, and we know our bottom piece is 5.25 inches wide because of the size of the folder. What we need to do is figure out how tall is it, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be 7/8 also, but let's just math it out to be sure. So 7.5 minus 1/8 for the top border minus 6.25 for the mat itself minus 1/8, no, not 1/8, 2/8 for the two remaining borders, and we're at 7/8. So that's good. All right, so we're going to make a picture frame. So what's going to happen is I'm going to put the frame like this too, right here, and then we'll put the other photo mat here. So it'll kind of have a vibe of being a picture frame. So what we need are 2 pieces that are 7/8 by 7.25 to be the vertical pieces, and 2 pieces that are 5.25 by 7.8 to be the horizontal pieces, and then we'll put it all together with 2 photo mats. All right. Then we'll do the, so we need to make 2 folders that are 5.5 by 7.5. So that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of my blue cardstock that is, well, 2, because we're making 2 of these, right? Make sure I get flag blue. I almost grabbed Persian blue, so that would have been sad for me. All right, so we need 2 pieces of flag blue. Lori, I just don't know when, like, what causes you to get it and what causes you to not get it. You know what I mean? I wish I did, because then I could tell you how to fix it. But I don't know. I don't know. All right, so these are 7.5 by 12. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to score them in half at 6 inches, and then I'm going to cut it down to 5.5. The reason I'm going to do that is because that way I know that both sides will be the exact same size, because I want this framing to be very precise. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to score them at 6 inches. I'm making 2 because we have another pocket like this. Oh, I lost a foot. Okay, that's mildly infuriating because this is not a cheap trimmer. I'm gonna just squish them all down. Squish them all down. Well, just bypass the system altogether, right, Lori? Lori said, I'll just put it in my phone. Of course, Jill, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Now, YouTube recently put a page on, or put a notation on my analytics page about the percentage of the audience subscribed to notifications and the percentage of the audience subscribed to all notifications. So now apparently must be like notifications and which I assume is for uploads, and all notifications, which is maybe for everything else I do on YouTube. So like if I post a community update or go live or something like that. So it seems like they have introduced more options to notifications where you can have some notifications turned on for some YouTubers and not all of them. So I'll look more into that. I just saw it yesterday for the first time, so I will do some more research, and if I think that's maybe what's causing the problem, because some people are not getting notifications when they're signed up for notifications. So all right, and then once this has been scored in half, I am putting the score line at 5.5 and then cutting off just the edge, and that way I know that both sides of the folder are the exact same size. And so this is going to go in the pocket like so. So yeah, it's a good thing we didn't go any bigger than 5.5, because 5.5 was a bit of a squeeze. All right, so I'm going to take one of them and put it in the other folder, just so it's ready to go for us when we're ready to work on it. It's already made. So just gonna stick it in there, and then alrighty. So that's one less thing we have to do when we get to that point in the book. All right, so now we need 2 photo mats. And let's do 3 photo mats. Let's put one on the front. So 1, 2, and have we been doing black or brown in this book? What have we been doing? Let me check. It's like I don't even know. We have been doing brown. All right. So we'll do one square. So I'll take one of these already stamped ones. And, oh, we have quite a few horizontal ones, and maybe those will come in handy. And then we'll do 1, 2, we'll stamp vertical, and this square one will go on the front. All right, so good, good, good. So we only need to stamp 2, and then just cut down that other one. More choices, that's what we all want. That's what we all want, is more choices. No one has decision fatigue at all. No one. All right, so why are you afraid? No one's gonna be mean or rude. And I'm sure it looks beautiful anyways. We just discussed last week that we're the only ones that see the flaws in our projects. All right, so here we go. All right, and then this one we're going to cut to 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I'm just going to cut 1 inch off either end. That way I keep my stamp centered. And I'm going to cut a 4 3/8 by 4 3/8 cardstock mat for it, so that it has a thin blue edge. So we don't want it to have quite a full 1/8 of an inch all the way around. I want it to be a little bit narrower, so yeah, see, that gives it just a little bit narrower, kind of crisper edge. And then we're going to ink all 3. We got all our Christmas decor out and up, so the house is decorated, which means the cats have seen the return of their nemesis, the Christmas tree. Now, they lost one of their nemeses, which was Christmas skirt, because we couldn't stand how much they attacked the Christmas skirt. So we got a much bigger and much heavier Christmas skirt that we thought they would be too weak to ruin and crumple up all the time, which it turned out we were correct. So now they just nap on the tree skirt under the tree, which is much cuter. Much cuter. So but I have pictures of Tiny Cat stalking the Christmas tree. And then Kitty sleeping underneath the tree, but every once in a while you'll hear the tree rustle, 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 rustle. And then one morning I woke up and Tiny Cat had glitter on her nose. So I knew she had been in a fight with an ornament at some point. I'm assuming the ornament won because I didn't see any dead ornaments. So after I get these taped, I'll show you pictures on the phone. The other thing we did that was Christmassy is yesterday I saw a video from someone's YouTube channel. Her name, it's a baking channel probably. Her name was Emma. But basically the idea was you make one base cookie dough and then you divide it into five equal piles, and then you do something different to each pile. So one becomes gingerbread cookies, one becomes Linzer cookies, one becomes chocolate cookies, one is butter cookies, and one is sugar cookies. And she said it's a quick and easy way to make a box with a variety of cookies in it. And so intern Liz and I decided to see if that was correct. And yeah, it's pretty quick. It only took us about 90 minutes, which, you know, to make 5 batches of cookies is not a tremendous amount of time. So she and I did that yesterday. I have some pictures of them. Although we didn't fill any of them, so I guess we're not done. Like, we haven't filled the chocolate sandwiches and we haven't filled the Linzer cookies. So yes, we have shatterproof ornaments since the cats live with us. Mr. Lifeguard and I have gorgeous glass ornaments, old-fashioned glass ornaments with the old-fashioned glass glitter and all of that. All of them are red and gold, and they're beautiful. But they have been they have been in hiding since the cats arrived. So, is Bigger Bolder Baking the channel, May? Did you recognize the video I described? Well, we know some things for sure about the Christmas menu. One thing we know for sure is that we're going to serve beef. And probably we're going to serve a rib of some kind. So either a prime rib or a rib rack or something like that. And then my brother requested individual Wellingtons, but honestly, we made a full-size Wellington last year, and I don't know if we need to eat Wellington twice in 1 year. Plus, also, I don't know if I feel like making Wellington 2 years in a row. So we're probably just going to do prime rib roast with a horseradish crust, because we're going to do what I feel like doing. But we are going to make a mushroom potato gratin that we've made a few times over the years. That's really, really nice. Okay, so yeah, May said she saw the same video and it's Bigger Bolder Baking. So if you go on YouTube and look for Bigger Bolder Baking, then you'll see the same video. But yeah, it was pretty quick and it was fun. But we don't have any cookie cutters, Christmas cookie cutters. Now you cannot chat without okay, yes. So that's a new thing, Lori. Everyone who interacts on YouTube has to have a YouTube channel. Just make sure you're signed into your Google account on your phone. Because if you've been chatting so far, you probably already have a channel. All right. Okay, so we've got our photos in, so we're going to do the frame here and the frame here. So now we just need to cut our strips. So we want a paper that's gonna look good as a frame. So I'm gonna go to my scraps because we only need strips. And I think this would be really cool. So we're probably gonna end up doing that one. This would also be good, but we don't have enough of it. And these are 7 inches, and we need 7 1/4, 5 by 7. We need 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. So those will also not do. So yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. Hi Millie, how are you? All right, so we're gonna cut 7/8 of an inch off the bottom twice. And then we're gonna cut 7/8 of an inch off the side twice. And we're cutting off the bottom for the 2 pieces that are 5 1/4. And then once we have these cut down to the right narrowness, I'm using the ruler and the rotary trimmer just because I don't want it to be, since it is going to be like a frame, I want the lines to be straight. And I'm going to get straighter lines with 7/8 of an inch than I would with my Fiskars trimmer. So now I can get out the Fiskars trimmer, and starting with the 2 smaller ones, we're going to cut them down to 5 1/4. Just keep these scraps in our tiny scrap for our tiny scrap pile. And then these, ugh, 7 1/4 is a measurement I don't have because of the swing arm. So I'm going to do these on the other piece, on the other trimmer. All right. So I'm going to put them in their tiny scrap bag so that when I need to go make a scrap piece, you know, like one of those quilts, I go to this little tiny bag. So I keep all the tiny ones all together. All right. Welcome back, Donna. So now we need to, we're going to hook these together like so and like so. That's how they go together. So the easiest way to do this, because we are going to need to trim, is I'm going to tape them to my desk. And then I'm going to tape the other one to my desk right on top of it. That way I know that they are square. Okay, now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line it up with the corners of my grid, okay? So it's going through all the squares. Once I have that, that gives me a 45-degree angle. It's just going to cut, and that cuts through both layers. And so they now link up perfectly and make a perfect little frame. And if we've done all our math correctly, they will perfectly frame our photo. Which they do. Look at that. Look at that. All right, so we're just going to set that up there. And we're going to do the same thing with the other two pieces. All right, take the other one into place. Again, we're going to put the ruler through all the squares, so it's going through all the squares. And then hit it with the rotary trimmer and remove the little pieces, remove the tape, and I just reused the tape from the first ones. All right, there we go. There's our frame. Whee! Okay, so we got our frame. So now all we have to do is I'm going to ink these and I'm going to glue them into place. I think that'll be the easiest thing. And I'm going to ink them to highlight the fact that they are a frame. So, and I know we're, I know that, well, I don't know for sure because obviously I can't positively see into the future, but I have a very, very strong feeling that we will not finish Split Decision in 2019. And that is okay. That is okay. I do have confidence that we will finish it before Scrappy Bowl, though. I do have confidence about that. So, because we have all of January to finish it before Scrappy Bowl, so we can get it done before Scrappy Bowl. It might be cute to leave a 1/8 inch gap in the miter I mean, that would be cute. That would be hard. Thanks a lot, Jill. You and I are not friends anymore. Just so you know. Alright, let me show you how to leave a gap in the miter, because Jill's got good ideas. Alright, so put your pieces back together. And tape them together on the miter. Alright, so they need to be taped together right on the miter. Well, no they don't. We can probably do it. Alright, let's not do that. We can probably do it easier than that. Jill's giving me hugs. Wow. Wow. Alright. So what we need is... No. Okay. We're not going to do it like that. I am going to go with my original instinct to tape them back together. I can shorten the strips on straight ends, but I'm not confident that I'll get them straight. That's my problem. I'm not confident that I'll get them perfectly straight. Whereas if they're taped together, I think I'll be able to see it easier. That's my concern. Because the problem is I need to cut a 1/16 of an inch, which is like, that's not marked, you know, on my thing. So I just have to eyeball it. I guess I could eyeball it and hope for the best. Ugh. Alright, let's just eyeball and hope. That's a new crafty technique, eyeballing and hoping. Alright, let's see how we did with eyeballing and hoping. Alright, I managed to do it. Yeah, there's no... If there is 1/16 on the trimmer, which I think maybe this is, but it's not like you can really use it. I mean, I could cut it off the end, but it's... If we cut it off... No, it's too... That's not 1/16, I don't think. I think that's 1/8. 1/16 is not marked on the trimmer. So that's really the problem. If we cut off this end, I mean, you could, maybe, I'm not 100% sure that would work. So we will continue with eyeballing and hoping. We will continue with eyeballing and hoping as our technique. EBH, eyeball hoping. New term. New term. So we will eyeball hope it. What would we have called this before? I mean, estimating, I guess. Or just eyeballing it without the hoping. All right. I have to call Mr. Lifeguard to turn the air conditioning on because I will literally die if he doesn't. Literally. A pray and a dare. Instead of a hope and a prayer, it's a pray and a dare. All right. So you send your husband a text that you're melting. Oh, I just felt it come on, and because I'm literally, sweat is like pouring all over me. See, if you want to, there's a reason why you can't see me on camera, because this room gets so hot, especially with the studio lights, that like it's just not cute. You would not be happy with what you saw. All right, look at that. Cute. Cute. All right, so I've decided I'm gonna do tape because I don't want to have to redo this if I mess it up, and its positioning is really important. So that's why I have gotta hydrate. So thankfully Mr. Lifeguard is here, and I will probably not literally die on camera now. Okay, so we're gonna do this, and then I'm thinking maybe we'll do a quilt on the front so that what's on the front's a little bit interesting behind our additional photo mat, because I don't want to lose the photo mat. I know this show would have gotten very dramatic all of a sudden. It's like someone was literally murdered on YouTube. This channel definitely not for kids. So. If I died on camera, you could scrapbook it. You should scrapbook it. You should be like, it was the craziest thing. This crafter I was watching, she just like literally died because she didn't drink enough water. And she'd always been telling us to hydrate, so it's like really ironic. Yeah, we don't want to lose the mat. We just want to set it off. Exactly. Because we only have so much room for photos on these littler pages. So we want to take every opportunity we can, but still have pretty paper showing. Yeah, you would have to make a mini album. I'm gonna make sure I keep the right ones together. All right. There we go. Beautimus. Now. Oh, yeah, you could get the You get those video players that you put in albums. You could memorialize the moment I literally died on camera in one of those mini album video players. That's funny. This is the time she literally died. It was nuts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure, of course I just knocked it off onto the floor, but I'm making sure that I'm lined up with the photo mat, because it's more important that I be perfect with the mat than it is that I be perfect with the edges. So yes, you could also do a CR code to the video where I died. That's true. So you want to be lined up because you're framing the photo mat. You're not trying to frame the edges of the folder. So you want to line up with the photo, okay? Or not the photo, but the photo mat. And if it helps you to put a ruler there, you can. All right. Beautiful. Okay. Now this one you want to line up with this one and this one. This one you want to line it up with this corner and this corner, all right? Because again, this is about the photos, not the edges of the cardstock. Or the photo mats, technically. Jill's like, that cat makes it look much more formal. I love it. It was my idea, so I'm not biased at all, but that's just my totally unbiased opinion. Everyone likes the gap. Fine, Jill wins again. All right, so we've got the inside done. We've got our offset frames. So now we'll put something on the back from our scrap collection, and then we'll make a quilt for the front, and then we'll put this photo just right in the center of the quilt on the front. Not right in the center. We'll put it like up here so the quilt looks like a Polaroid. Ah, it's so cute now. Yay! What I should do is put this in the, see this Post-it where I scribbled all my thoughts? I should put this in the folder in the envelope that's still to come. This is just a you know, one of those helpful crafty tips for you to make your life easier. So, you know how I made both folders at once so it'd be easier? Well, now we will make, I put this Post-it in here so that I know that that's what we did. And I don't have to go back and figure it out again or remeasure it or anything. All right. So now we get a piece of scrap paper that's 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. And we'll make our quilt on it. All right, so what am I? Oh yeah, okay. Shaka says I'm literally drowning in Split Decision right now. Is one of my Black Friday purchases. Well, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. It's a fun one. Just remember with the album basics guides, you don't have to put every single page in every single album. I do, so that you see, you know, ideas for decorating. It's for decorating inspiration. But, you know, I don't necessarily intend for you to do all the things. You know what I mean? Like, same with half the fun. You don't have to put all of them in every book. It's a jumping off point. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to bring one of the corners to the other one so that I have a line to glue my pieces on so they'll be diagonal. And then I'm just going to put that line on my desk so I can draw it in with pen just so I can see it better. Well, you can get it, just mark it in your calendar. You can get it for Scrappy Bowl. It'll be on sale again then. If you missed it, it'll be on sale again then. All right, so now we have, that's ready to stick our little pieces down to. And what I do with these is typically I put the tape on them so that I can go a little faster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tape on the scrap paper, not on the pieces. That'll be the beginning of February. So the beginning of February. Yes, absolutely, Priya. Any size paper, you can fold it like that, as long as it's a rectangle or a square. I mean, with a square, you just fold it in half, diagonal to diagonal, but with a rectangle, yeah. But yeah, you can do this with any size paper. Oops, I missed a spot. Any size paper. That's why you fold one edge to the opposite edge. That way you get your 45-degree angle. And then you just go up and down from there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel this up from my desk. Never mind. Let's leave it for now. All right, I'm going to get under it with something that'll help me with the tape, because the problem is right now it's taped to my desk. All right. So we'll get it a little more sturdy before I take it off. Okay. So now, well, actually, I want to move it, so I'm going to need to pull it up. Got it? All right, I got it. So set that aside. Now we're going to get our paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my paper bag of tiny paper scraps. And we want these to be an inch, basically. I'm going to start with these longer ones because it's just a little bit easier when they're long. And we'll use the shorter ones closer to the edges. Now you can use little skinny ones like this if you want to, because as long as it goes all the way across, see like this one's skinnier than an inch, but as long as it goes all the way across, it's okay. Same with this one. So any really skinny ones, I'll save for the edges. So anything that's not an inch, I'm putting on one side, and anything that is an inch, I'm putting on the other side. This I know is an inch because it's angled. It's been used before for one of these. Some of these, this is a journaling spot, but I'm not going to journal on something this tiny probably. Or remember even that I have it. So I'm still going to use it even though it's a journaling spot. These are the little 7/8 inch ones I just cut. With your fancy printer, you could have just printed another paper. I could have. Yes, indeed. I could have. It's not that I can't. So much as I think these look cool. And it's a good way to use really skinny little scraps. Are you an inch? Yeah. So yeah, I like to do these. They look so interesting, and it's a great way to use little baby scraps. I've thought about putting these in, all right, so I'm gonna get started with this pile. I think it might be enough. But I have thought about doing these as in my designing a sheet that looks like this in Photoshop with each new collection I get. But it's not the same because it would be the same every time, right? When you do it like this, they're different every time. That's part of what's interesting about it. And no one else has one like this. You're the only one. Those skinny little scraps fill up my recycling bin. Well, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, you can just recycle them. This is just a different way of recycling them. So I might do it, Shaka. And the idea of templates is that's a really good idea to do templates. I might still do it, but all right, so now okay. These two are going to be under, you know, the photo mat, so it doesn't matter if there's a little gap right there. All right, so now that I've got the whole thing done, I just burnish it. All right, and then I have to pry it up. All right, and then once I have done that, I'll just burnish it again. And then I just use the rotary trimmer. Is there a way to fix an accidental gap? What do you mean by accidental gap? Like if there was a thin white line showing in between the pieces of paper, is that what you mean? But yeah, generally speaking, cover it is pretty good advice. All right, so here it is. And then we're going to put this on it like so. Maybe we'll find like a little saying to put down there. And if not, we'll put it in the center. Because it looks good in the center as well. So, but first I'm going to ink the edges so I don't forget. And I'll put tape on the back as well. So let's look in the sayings. Oh, and this one. All right, this one will work. We just have to adjust it so that it's smaller. So that way we could keep it as a Polaroid, but, oh, like that. The noteworthy, we just have to cut one square off each end and it'll be fine. That's pretty cute. Yeah, let's do that. Let's not overthink. Let's just glue. All right, so I'm gonna cover this with tape on the back so it's essentially a sticker. All right, and then I'm gonna show you. Okay, so you see this right here, it looks like a little white line. That's because this red piece is just a little raggedy on its edge. So I'm just gonna see if covering it with Sharpie works as looking inked. It doesn't look inked enough for me. So this is where I'm gonna take one of these little pieces and I'm just gonna stick it down to fix it, to cover that little area. This I will glue. Or do I want to use this little? Yeah, I'm going to use the other side. I know my work mat is, you know, there was a day recently I was using a lot of glossy accents or something like that. It's really sticky. Stuff keeps sticking to my desk. But I replace this mat every year in December, so, you know, it's time. It's the reckoning. It's the reckoning. All right, and then I'm just gonna burnish it with my bone folder and that'll flatten it out. And there we go, all good. My problem is I put glue on all kinds of junk on my desk and I don't always pay attention to cleaning. And someone told me to magic eraser it and I did that once and it removed the lines too. But there's definitely something sticky on it and I don't know what it is. I keep something that it's, you know, beyond the capacity of a baby wipe to get up. Just rotate the top, it's still pretty. That's true, the top, look how clean it is. Look at this and then look at this. We'll just turn it around. That's good. I'm pretty lazy, so that works for me. I'll just tell Mr. Lifeguard, hey, guess what? We don't have to do this here. We don't have to replace the mat. All right, let me get all these scraps put away. And then we'll assemble this page. Now, I only replace it that often because I have a show. There's nothing wrong with your mat being dirty. That just means it's loved. That's how you show your mat that you love it and it loves you. All right, so this is double-sided, but I can't use the other side. Because the light gray, this one, it doesn't make the colors pop as well as the dark gray. All right, so I'm gonna cut this out. and I think I have a stamp cleaner somewhere, but the question is where. All right, so I'm going to now use just my I don't care if it's dirty for myself. It's just, you know, I don't want it to be like super revolting on the camera. All right, so we just shortened this and now it fits. That's all we wanted. I have stamps that are black. I mean, look at this one. I mean, this, that doesn't bother me either. Because, yeah, it just means you're using it. I did have a friend who, whenever she would get a new stamp, she would very carefully ink it with a black ink that stains. Where the ink was only on, this is acrylic stamps, where the ink was only on the image. And then she would let it sit there until it totally stained and then the image was permanently black. That way, when her stamp got to looking like this, she could still see the image because the image was like a really strong black ink, you know? But I just have never been willing to do that. Never been willing to do that. All right, so now this has got to get stamped or taped. And then that'll, oh no, we just need to put some paper on the back and that'll finish this off. And then we need to design an insert for this pocket. And I'm thinking we'll do tags that have tabs, tab tags. 2 different heights probably. All right. All right, once that's down, I'm going to flip it over and burnish. And then we'll stick this down. Beautiful. Now tape the back and stick it to the front of the folder. And then we'll put a pattern paper scrap on the back. Just to finish it off. You can leave the backs plain as well. You don't have to put pattern paper on the backs. You could put an additional photo on the back, of course. You know, if you want room for an additional photo. However you want to do it, you can do it because it's your book. It's your book and you can do whatever you want. Not even a brayer works? Like putting it wood side down and putting your image on it and rubbing over it with a brayer? All right, so I'm just going to open this to make sure I put this right side up. Nice. Very sharp. All right, very cute. Then we've got our frames inside, and now we just need to do something to the back, and I'm just going to put a piece of plain patterned paper back there. And actually, I think I'll put this. It's a nice place to put it, just so we can see that image, dress it up. All right, there we go. So that's done. Just got to put it down, and we'll make the inserts. For the other thing, all right, so I'm going to ink the edge, and again, I'm using brush corduroy. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to tape this, and we'll stick it down. And that'll be that folder done. And next time we do this folder, it'll take less time because we'll have all the information. We won't have to figure anything out, and the folder is already made. So, and it takes a little bit of time to make the diagonal paper, but not too much time, not really. All right. All right. Beautiful. So this goes in here, and that finishes off that pocket. So now we just need to make inserts for this. So I'm thinking that what we'll do is I want to check, see if the other page that's divided like this with an envelope on the back has something similar. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do one that's 7.5-ish, and I'm going to do one that's 6.5-ish, but I want them to be tabbed, and then I want the photo to be under the tab, and right, so we're doing 2.5-inch tabs on everything in this book. So put your paper at 2.5 and cut, and then put it on the edge and cut. And we need 2 of these. Are you big enough? Yeah. So put your paper at 2.5 and at 0, I guess. All right. And then we're going to trim. And trim. All right, so all right, now here's what I want to do. Let's see if we can make a file Polaroid. Ugh. Boo. Oh. All right, it's too small. Because of these bars, we can't quite get in there. But that's okay. I have a solution to this problem. A potential solution to this problem. I'm gonna just take this 3.25-inch piece, or this 3-inch piece, and I'm gonna punch its corner, just one. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna line it up with this corner. And I'm going to trace it with a pencil. And I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing. And we're going to make a file Polaroid. All right. So we're going to get the big bite again. And we're going to chomp out the holes in the corners. All right, like that. And then all right, so we've got the top done. No, not quite. All right, there we go. So now that I've got the top done, I want to come down how do I want to do this? I want to come down 5 3/4 from this line. All right. And then that tells me where to put my, where I'm going to trace. My little piece here. So I'm just lining it up with the pencil line. So see there, you can see the pencil line, just pull it down to the pencil line. All right, I'm gonna use the big bite. And use the big bite. All right, and then we'll finish cutting it. And we're making a file Polaroid. So we'll now just connect the holes. Okay, then we got our frame. Have a couple little raggedy areas. All right. Time to swap the cats. Interesting, interesting. So I have a couple areas where it kind of tore the paper instead of cutting it. So this is a sign that my trimmer's blade is done. All right, so let's change the blade on the trimmer. Now you see how I have this black mark there? That means I've already used up that side of the blade. So I'm just gonna mark it here so that I know this whole blade is kaput. So, and I don't try to use it for anything. Now, kaput blades you can use for chipboard if you don't have any other way to cut chipboard. Because it's not as big a deal if it tears up the edge of the chipboard a little bit, because you're just gonna wrap it with paper anyway. And then this is a new to me blade, the titanium blade. I think people said this was a better one. All right, we'll find out. So different type of blade. All right. So now I'm just gonna put this at 1 inch and trim it off. The opening, put the opening at 1 inch and trim it off. All right, so now I have a file folder Polaroid. All right. So this will get stuck to a piece of cardstock the color of my photo mats. And I'm just gonna just clean it a little bit. All right, Jill says it does last longer, and Candy says the titanium are worse. All right, cool. So it's either better or worse, everyone. It's either better or worse. All right, so now we've got this stuck down. You can see another little torn area here I'm going to clean up. And then a couple areas I need to erase. All right. So we've got that down. Going to trim it out. And perfect. And of course, when you do this at home, you would put your photo, you would put your photo back there, not a photo mat. You would put an actual photo. All right, and then we decide what do we want to do with the back. And I think we'll just put some cool journaling paper on the back. Cool journaling paper. All right. I'm going to steal a journaling paper I printed on the bottom of one of my Christmas papers. So, stealing from project to project, totally okay. So we're just going to So I just cleaned up that corner, and I'm just going to stick it down to this corner. I'm going to actually mark that that's the one that I cut so I don't make a mistake. And then we're just going to glue this whole thing right down there. And it'll be journaled on the back. Okay. And then we can just make another one of these. All right, so now I'm going to cut. All right, and I'm going to stick this off the side. I'm going to put it on my other desk, and I'm going to put bacon presses on it. And then I'm going to see if I can do this easier. I'm going to see if I can do this easier. Because I think I can. So here's what we need to do. We need to math. I know. But I think with the power of math, we can get this done. So what we're going to do is we're going to start again. So the first thing I'm going to do is, we know that the We Are Memory Keepers punch does something in between. It's like 3/8, maybe it's not quite exactly 3/8, but it's something like this. Not quite a half is what it is. It's not quite a half. So if we put this at 3/4, and we put this at 1/4, then we can punch both corners where we can cut it down to be the right size. All right. Then, so that's, and then we need to come down 5 3/4 from here. This is 3/4, so it's 6 1/2. We need to punch it like 6 1/2. And we want a 7-inch, so we need to cut this whole thing to 7 1/2 inches. All right, so start with a 7 1/2 inch by 4 1/2 inch piece. All right, start with 7 1/2 inch by 4 1/2 inch piece. Cut one side at 3 1/4 and 1/4, and cut the other side at 1 inch and 1/4. All right, so that's done. Then get your We Are Memory Keepers punch board and put the smaller side, punch it at 2 1/2 and 0. And it's probably going to look close enough, would be my guess. My guess is it's going to look close enough. All right, and then we have 3/4 at the top. And 1 inch at the bottom. And then we have this. Okay. And then let's pull the other one over, see how close we got. Right, so they're basically exactly the same. This one's just like a scooch taller. So, yeah, do it that way. So there's the struggle version, and then there's the easy version. And I lost my Fiskars trimmer. Like, no joke. I don't know what. How do you lose a Fiskars trimmer, Kathryn? Like, it's orange, you know? What on earth? How is this possible? What the? Okay. Well, all right. So I have lost my Fiskars trimmer. Friends, how did this happen, you might ask? I don't know, because that's insane. It's insane is what it is. It's insane that I have lost my Fiskars trimmer. I mean, it's orange and 12 inches long, so you know, it makes no sense. It makes no sense, but I have managed to do it. What the? I mean, really? Did I throw it in the trash? Like, how? No, I did not throw it in the trash. I've ruled out the trash. Wow. Wow. What in the heck? Yep, no, it's gone. It's gone. Maybe did it slide under this thing? No, it didn't. Did I put it in a drawer? Yes, I did. Okay, I put it in the drawer that holds the Misty and the rulers. So, cool. Holy moly. All right. Well, I'm glad that this show remains as professional as ever. All right, so we've got the piece for the back, and now we need a piece of cardstock. No cats were blamed. All right. All right, so here's the main difference. The main difference is the top is a little bit thicker on the one that we said it's good enough. That's all. It's just a little bit thicker. I think it's fine though. So I wouldn't stress about it. All right, so there we go. Another way to use a frame punch board to make a Polaroid. This time I want the tab on the right side, so I'm going to put the glue on the left side. The first one was made by, I punched out a corner template I punched out, and I just used that as a template to put it exactly where I needed a corner piece. So that was all, it was all done by measuring. It was a lot more difficult. So, but yeah, I just used this as a template and sketched it all out. And then used a hole punch and the Fiskars trimmer to cut it all out, which we're just gonna say do not recommend the original version, because it's more trouble than it's worth for how it looks. So we'll just stick with it being close enough. So that you don't have to hand draw anything. Journaling spot on the back. You don't have to do a journaling spot on the back. You could put another frame back here, so you could have back-to-back frames. You can put pattern paper, whatever. It depends on how much you like journaling. And how much room you need for journaling versus how much room you need for photos. All right, then. Now, we've got this done. So we're going to ink these. I'm going to set this one under a bacon press to hold it a little bit while we ink this one up and get it stuck in the book. Good enough is a good motto. I've mentioned this before on the show, I think, but not recently, that I read a study where when people were given the task to buy a good TV And another group of people were given the task to buy the best TV. And the people who, I actually went around this corner. The people in group A, the people who were told to find a good TV, they were all really happy with their purchases. The people, and they bought cheaper TVs than the people who were told to find the best TV. The people who were told to find the best TV took longer to make a decision, did way more research, spent way more money, and at the end were less happy. Because it's pretty easy to know where, when you have something good, but it's not easy to know when you have like the best. So around here, I say we're always trying to find the Toyota. You know, we don't want the BMW, we don't want the Cadillac. We're looking for the Toyota. This is a bacon press. It's a cast iron press for holding like steaks flat, or a spatchcocked chicken flat, or bacon flat, or a sandwich flat. It's for pressing food in a cast iron pan. So, you know, the food's in the cast iron pan, you put this on top of it, and the food stays flat while it cooks. That's what they're for. They're called bacon presses. Sometimes they're called steak presses. And you can get them tons of places. And don't pay too much for them. Don't pay too much for them. Don't pay more than like $8 for one. And that's on the high side. But you can get them a lot of times if you have a store, any place that sells a lot of cast iron or wrought iron, a lot of times they'll have them. Swap meets, farm stores. I mean, I guess Williams-Sonoma if you wanted a really fancy one. So, but like those are the kind of kitchen stores will have them. Grills, places that do grills. Amazon has a 2-pack of bacon presses for $10.37. So that's good. That's a good price. Jill says, when I was 6, I asked Mom if Jesus had to watch Batman in black and white. So she's happy with her color TV. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. So I learned something about dreaming in black and white. I learned that the only people who ever dreamed in black and white were people who grew up when there were only black and white movies or black and white TV, whose screens were always, who watched things on screens, and those screens were only black and white. Those people dreamed in black and white. But everyone else, before them, they assumed that they dreamed in color because they saw the world in color. And now people dream in color because TVs are in color. But there was a group of people who dreamed in black and white. That's not just like a myth. So I thought that was really interesting. All right, so now we're just going to stamp this. And another page is done. Bye, May. All right, so then we've got our Polaroid file folders to go in our pocket here. All right, so that's what we've got here. And then this flips up and there's a photo underneath. And then we made this pocket also And then that's got the frames inside. Well, colorblind people probably only dream in black and white, or in whatever colors they see, would be my guess. But it sounds like you dream in what you see. So that brings up a question that I have, which is people who were dreaming before we were exposed to screens, I assume that they dreamed as well as they saw, right? So does that mean we're only dreaming in the level of high quality of our screens? So like before DVDs, were we dreaming in VHS? And then were we dreaming just in DVD quality until high definition? And then check out those beautiful corners. Yes, Jill's beautiful corners. Check them out. Admire them. Ooh and ah over them. All right, everyone. I will be back at 9 p.m. Eastern USA tonight. We're going to do the next page in the book, which will be full-size page B. Full-size page B. So let me grab it. So this is what we'll be working on tonight. So we're going to be making the inserts to go in this pocket. And then we'll be making inserts to go in this pocket, and this pocket. So that's what we'll be working on tonight. Do blind people not dream? I assume they dream. I just assume, again, that they would dream with, you know, whatever type of vision they have. Not all people who are blind see just black all the time. Jill says that older I get, the worse my vision is, so I'm probably dreaming in Betamax. Oh no, pretty soon we'll all be dreaming in radio and phonograph. So, there we go. Donna says we all have too much time on our hands. We have too much spare time to do. These are the mysteries of the universe. This is crafting, as you all know, philosophy crafting. How do people dream? You know, I guess we'll all be dreaming in iPad eventually. We'll all be dreaming in smartphone. Well, that's what we'll dream in. Okay, so I'm not a dream scientist, so you know I can't answer all of these questions. But I'm sure the answers to these are all on the internet as to what it's like. You could probably just Google how do blind people dream. But like I said, I mean it's not common, I don't think, for people to see nothing at all. But I assume that they dream in the same way they experience the world, however that is. That seems to be the gist of what they were saying about the TVs. You kind of dream similarly to how you experience the world. All right, so with that mystery of the universe just thrown out there right at the end, we will be back tonight. Let's see if I can think of another mystery of the universe we can tackle this evening. And, you know, we'll continue solving all the world's problems here on this show, which is sort of a crafting show and sort of a philosophy show now. So, yes. No, we don't dream just because we see. No, I'm sure blind people dream, and I'm sure that their dreams resemble the way they experience the world. I mean, just like ours. Yeah, exactly. A collection of imaginations, and then what you see, what you hear, what you smell. Yeah. Shopping carts. Where do they all go? That's a good question. Where do shopping carts all go? Maybe we can figure that one out. We've definitely tackled some very serious issues here in the past. Like the Pythagorean theorem. So I will be back at 9 p.m. Eastern USA time, which is 4 hours and 51 minutes from now. It's 4:09 p.m. Eastern USA time now. So basically 5 hours from now. Whatever time it is where you are now, just add 5 hours and I'll be back. And we will work on the next page in this book. So that's what we'll be doing tonight. Whether or not we get it done, I don't know. We'll see. But it'll be fun either way. So I will see you all this evening. Check the video description for links on how to get access to the archives. So you can see this and other past live show recordings. Check out the the 12 Days of Christmas Stadium Box series on YouTube. I did another recording and I showed how to decorate the outside to get these nice clean corners. I showed how to make the folders that will go in it, how to make the templates for the folder and decorating the folder, and how to make the closure for the folder, which I have lost. I have lost the closure. So that's cool. Anyway, there was a closure. I lost it. Don't worry about it. We could, oh, here it is. Professional. Always professional. That's what you get here. All right, there we go. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern USA time. Until then, stay glittery, my friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.